So you can feel confident and comfortable. This is for everybody to just gently interrupt like I did right there. And then I don't know if like it made you maybe stop for a minute and think, but then if I come through and say, what I need from you, then it starts you thinking about something else, and you're not going to be upset with me for doing it. At least, 99% of the time they won't be upset. So what I do is like gently interrupt like that. And I'll say, and you guys see, I do it to you all on here, is I'll say, hey, tell me what the question is. Or if they go on and on and on, you can say, now you can say, look, hey, can you just, I can't really process all that. Could you tell me, like, what does the business do in one sentence?
I had a call last week with a seller, positioned it as a potential acquisition. And unfortunately, the guy ended up dominating the conversation. He got a little carried away and went on for an hour. But, I learned a lot, got to know him, he got to talk about himself. So he felt real good after the call. So that was really
Hey,
cool.
Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
So what is your question? Now, see
So-
what I
so-
did there? No, I'm not doing that to be a jerk. I wanted to show you. You've got to control those conversations because it's really easy to get off track. So what you have to do is have the friendly way of interrupting to get them kind of moving along. And I can tell you, like, I'd be 117 and still not through half of the calls I've done with sellers if I didn't do it. So you can feel confident and comfortable. This is for everybody to just gently interrupt like I did right there. And then I don't know if like it made you maybe stop for a minute and think, but then if I come through and say, what I need from you, then it starts you thinking about something else, and you're not going to be upset with me for doing it. At least, 99% of the time they won't be upset. So what I do is like gently interrupt like that. And I'll say, and you guys see, I do it to you all on here, is I'll say, hey, tell me what the question is. Or if they go on and on and on, you can say, now you can say, look, hey, can you just, I can't really process all that. Could you tell me, like, what does the business do in one sentence? Something like that is a good way to do it too. And then the other thing would be to just frame the conversation at the beginning and say, hey, listen, I know that you know a lifetime of the business and your entrepreneurial journey's worth of stuff. I've got a few really specific questions I want to ask you first, and then we can kind of talk about the rest of it. But this will just help me get exactly what I need to figure out how I can help you the most, because we really want those qualifying conversations to be really, really short. Now, once you qualify them, once you've got, hey, okay, so Jeff, tell me what are the sales of the thing right now? Okay, great. And about how much profit are you making? Cool. And it looks like from my research, you've got about 8 employees now. Yep. Okay, great. And this is something that you want to sell. Yeah, it is. Why do you want to sell? Because I'm retiring and moving to Poughkeepsie to be with my grandkids. Fantastic. Hey, can you tell me what's the story of the business? Now you can go in, you've pre-qualified them to have the rest of the conversation, and it'll just help you move through faster because they'll disqualify themselves in terms of your acquisition criteria right off the bat very quickly. And then you can say, oh man, just doesn't seem like it's a fit right now. But if you find that and then give them your acquisition criteria that it hits this, or, they'll say, well, I'm not really motivated to sell, but if somebody paid me stupid money for it, which I've had 3 people tell me in the last 2 weeks, then I'll sell it. It's like, well, I know that's not a deal for me right now. So then I'll just kind of move on gently. Is that helpful at all in kind of?
It's very helpful. And my next step was to reposition this to a CFE opportunity tomorrow morning with the call. And I think everything you just said pretty much takes me just about right there. But I mean, any words of wisdom on how to kind of reposition it as a CFE, not an acquisition,
100%
outside of what you already just said?
Yep, 100%. So look, Jeff, I really, I appreciate you giving me the answers to those questions. It doesn't seem like the company right now meets the criteria for me to acquire it, but let me just ask you, so you really want to sell this, right? Yeah, I do. And then you said you want to get about this much, or you need to get about this much for it. Yeah. What are you going to do with the money? Now we know what they want to do with the money. Okay, great. Look, I mean, I deal with businesses. The reason that I buy businesses like yours is to do exactly what you need to have done right now. And that's, you need to figure out how to, and then you just repeat back the 3 problems that he told you were the biggest problems. You need to, increase your profit margin and figure out how to find a different supplier and get a little bit of money to work with inventory. I can absolutely help you do that. Since the business isn't really ready right now to acquire, one thing that I can do is act as a consultant with you to help you get it to that place. And the way I do that is, and then you're instantly transitioned into the next thing. You can even trial close and say, before you say how you do it, before you say the way I do that is, you can say, is that something that you might be interested in? Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, right. So then you can go on into it, and they've actually invited you to make the pitch.
Awesome. Sweet. Good stuff. Thank you.
Awesome. You're very welcome.